Welcome to Shul.com. We were asking a question earlier when we were studying the laws of Shabbat by Rabbi Yonatan Nakson about what happens if a lady, specifically a female, not a male, forgets to light Shabbat candles on Friday night. We're going to look now at Hacham Obadiah Yosef and Hazon Obadiah, and then we're going to go into Yalkut Yosef and the Shulchan Aruch in detail, because I had recalled that it wasn't the Shulchan Aruch Meforash that mentions it, and it's not. It's actually the Ramah, but we're going to look into it. Let's start with Hacham Obadiah Yosef and the Hazon Obadiah. Shichecha ladlik nerot Shabbat. Isha sheshachecha pam achat ladlik nerot Shabbat. A lady who one time forgot to light Shabbat candles. Sicha medin knas. She has a responsibility to pay a penalty. Lahadlik kol yameha ner nosaf al ma she'ata regila lahadlik ad achshav. So whatever she normally used to do, she has to add one nosaf for the rest of her life.
So just 3 for the rest of her life.
If she was a 2, if she used to light 2, at 2, then she would add
2.
If she was at 7, she would add another one. If she was at 1, she would add 2. V'davka im lo hidlika klal. That's specifically if she didn't light at all. Let's say she lit 1 instead of 2, or less than she normally. She does not have to add anything further. You could look at Helek Aleph Amud 173. Let's continue. When it's talking about adding another candle, if she forgot, she wanted to light and then just she got busy. She was setting things up for Shabbat or the house. She said, after I finish all my work, I'll go and light it. But the time went past the 18 minutes and the Shki'ah, and she's in the Ben Hashem Hashot, for one reason or another, she couldn't get a candle, she couldn't find the candle, or she had the candle, she couldn't find matches, or maybe, it happens sometimes. We don't like that, leave matches around the house, let's say, and she's looking for matches, she only has one. Oh, I'm out, I forgot, it got wet, it was a mistake. Any of these type of situations, she does not need to. As a side note, if it happened on Yom Tov, in Be'erev Yom Tov, if she forgot for Yom Tov, she does not when it comes to that. And we're going to continue on the Shabbat issue. Why? Because why does she not have to light another one? Because she can light the candles of Yom Tov pretty much any time at night. Just get another flame and you're set. While Shabbat, you can't. You do not need to be machmir on that. That's Hacham Obadiah Yosef. Let's look at Yalkut Yosef, who has a beautiful piece. Really, he does always a fantastic job on the details. And this is the Hebrew Yalkut Yosef. We always learn from the Hebrew, not the English one, because that's a completely different book. It's actually not the same as this one. So we are on Siman Resh Samech Gimel. That's 263. Hachayavim b'hadlaka under Seif Mem Gimel. Isha sheshachecha lahadlik nerot Shabbat. A lady who forgot to light candle Shabbat. V'gam ba'ala lo hidlik. Also, her husband didn't light. Yesh omrim shemikano labas yichal osif bechol erev Shabbat ner nosaf al ma she'ata regala lahadlik ad ko. So some say, he adds the word yesh omrim. Some say that she has to. V'yesh omrim shetov yoter shititen shemen leisha aniyah kedish lahadlik. Some say, no, give some oil to a poor lady that she should light. And this for sure is, there are makil and lenient when it comes to a poor lady that she should add, or to use bigger candlesticks. Let's say a lady, she's already lighting 2, and the mitzvah is only to light 1. So she lights 2 or 7, and she, for one reason or another, lit less. Some say she does have to light another. Chama Obadiah said no, but Cham Yitzchak Yosef here in Yalkut Yosef said yes, that even if she lit less than she normally does, she should have to make that up as a penalty. Ulam kvar nitba'el le'el shebizman hazeh she'or hachashmal daluk b'bayit, that today when the Ezra, come, how are you? That today that we have the or of the hashmal, the electric light, daluk babayit, that's already lit, and tzarich leknos bechol anal. You don't have to sit and make this whole penalty, because you're not. The penalty would be most have felt when they came home on Friday night and it was dark, black. Oh my God! How are we going to eat? Like a blackout. Here, it comes home. He may not even notice that the Shabbat candles were not lit if his wife didn't mention anything. He may not even look at them. So you should enjoy from them. But there are times where a guy he comes home Friday night, whatever, he's eating, people over, didn't pay attention. You're supposed to look at the candles, especially during the Kiddush. And we mentioned when you say the word zikaron, extend the word zikaron for a few more seconds. Zikaron, lema'aseh bereshit, techera mikra'e kodesh. When you say the word zikaron, you should look at the candles. It's a good custom. Okay. And if one time she forgot and she didn't light at all, but the light and the electric lights were on, she should light the regular and she should not add. So let's take a look at what we have here, just so we're clear. You know what? Before we continue, let's get the Shulchan Aruch, and then we'll get a synopsis as to what's going on here. Because like everything else in our Halacha, there's many opinions. Okay, we are reading Shulchan Aruch, Siman 263, 1-1. Mi v'mi hamadlikim be'im ta'u b'yom me'unan. Yehe zahid la'asot ner yafeh. You should be careful to make a nice candle. V'yesh mechavenim la'asot shte petilot. And some have a custom to make 2 petilot. Echad keneged zachor ve'echad keneged shamor. Okay, so he says be careful to make 1 nice light. And there are opinions that they do 2 petilot. Interesting that he says petilot, not nerot. When it came to the original, he said ner. Some say we do a nice candle. Actually says he should be careful to do a nice candle. And some do 2. Okay. Haga. Now we're reading the Rama, Rabbi Moshe Isserlish. V'yicholim nosif v'ladlik gimel or dalet nerot v'chen nagu. And you can add if you want. Haisha she'shachecha pa'am achat lahadlik. This is the Rama. A lady who forgot one time to light. Madleket kol yamea gimel nerot. She adds her whole entire life 3, as brought down by the Maharil. Ki yecholim lahosif al davar amekaven neged davar echad bilvad sheyeh yifchot. And he brings down also the Mordechai and a few other the Ashiri also he brings down, and a few other sources on it. So that's very, very interesting. So if you look at the Rama brings down to do it. Shulchan Aruch does not mention it at all. When it came to Chacham Ovadia, it seems that he would tell the lady to light a 3rd one for the rest of her life as a knas, unless there were some intention to light but she forgot. And then when it came to Yalkut Yosef, he said if there is already definitely light in the house, you're good to go. You don't even have to do it. But he does have a bunch on the bottom, so let's take a look. Maharil in Amud Resh Aleph Katav sheisha sheshkacha pa'am achat ladlik nerot be'erev Shabbat, a lady who forgot once to light on Erev Shabbat Friday. Tzricha losif al kol ner shel mitzvah yoter mima she'ayta regila. She has to add on each light a little bit more than she normally does, so that she should be careful. As a penalty, she should be careful to light more. And brought down by the Maharil that a lady who forgot to light her candle one time on Erev Shabbat, she has to add on each one of the candles a little bit more than she normally does. So she should be careful. She has a penalty that she has to be careful. Rabbi Moshe Isserlish brings down in Rish Samech Gimel Dash Aleph Katav al Zeh Shekol Elu Chomrot Rechukot. ואדרבה, נראה שכל המוסיף גורע. He said in Darchei Moshe that all these types of chumrot are far, and it's better that kol hamosif goreavs, whoever is adding will actually be subtracting. And you end up removing the kavanah of having two candles. When you light on Shabbat, there's two candles, shamor and zachor, as one of the customs. But some of the ladies, they follow the custom of the Maharil. If a lady forgot one time, she'll have for the rest of her life to light 3. And it looks that in the Haggah, which is the commentary on the Shulchan Aruch, he took back what he originally had written in the Darchei Moshe on the Maharil. That he said that she should do it like the Maharil, actually.
If she forgot 1 week, she has to light
for the rest of her life. Yeah, because he mentions here, the Maharil says she should add a little bit more on the candle or on the oil.
Is there a limit to that? What if she keeps forgetting?
So we read originally on the laws of Shabbat by Rabbi Nachson that actually she should continue lighting. If she forgot 4 times, she would light 4 extra. So now we're looking at inside. So originally the Maharil said that le'osif al kol ner shel mitzvah yoter mima shayta regila. On every ner of a mitzvah she did, she has to add. I understand this as seeing as adding onto the existing candle or oil. But let's take a look. The Ramah says that it's kol hamosif goreya, that adding this is not proper. Then, when it comes on the Haggah, on the Shulchan Aruch, because the Shulchan Aruch doesn't talk about it specifically, he chazar bo, and he said that they should follow the Maharil of lighting more on each candle or a third candle, as he brings down. It's brought down from the Rishonim that you don't have to be makpid, which means you don't have to be stringent and you don't actually have to light a third. It's not a requirement. If they want to, they could. Mashma shedai shetosif al ner shel mitzvah al ner shel mitzvah shetlik bener yoter gadol. Then, if you look at the actual words of the Maharil, it's like I showed you guys earlier that he sounds from him that she should light a bigger candle to make it more prominent. So she should still have 2. Some say add a third, because by adding a third, you know for sure you're using more. But otiten ma'at shemen yoter baner, or add more oil inside of the vessel. If you add more oil, it's also more discreet for the woman, so she could do it if she forgot and she didn't fall under the conditions that were the ones that she can get an out on by adding adding a little more oil. No one, it's still sanua. It's not that thing. Come on. Remember, this can cause a shalom bayit issue with the husband.
Why?
It can cause a shalom bayit with the father or father-in-law. Hey, why are you lighting 3? My daughter-in-law forgot to light. You forgot to light in Shabbat. When? Where were you guys? It's got a whole lashon hara, mahloket, talking. It can cause a lot of things. If you can get out of it, avoid it. Okay, and he brings down a few others. Let's say she used to light 3 or 4, because you could really light as many as you like, as long as you light at least 1. So there's some that say if she lit, but she didn't light what she normally does light, then she would have to add. Meaning, if she normally likes to light 7, and she decided for some reason, or only 5, she only had 5 candles, right? That she would have to light for the rest of her life, an extra one, according to this other opinion. We don't follow it, but I'm just bringing down all the other opinions now.
Does anybody follow it?
I don't know. I know he brings it down, so I'm sure there's others that follow it. Okay, so he brings down here, Ulam babi'ahal katab al zevela nahira shehare kol ze eno ela minhag be'alma. That all this is not even a halacha; it's all just a custom. Ve'havo delo lehosif ala, and not to add. Ad kan v'kach katav b'shut mor va'ahalot posek shelo katav ken harama ela davka b'shichecha legamri lahadlik. So he says no. When she already lit, there's not as many as she normally. She wouldn't have to add an additional, because the Ramah, when he did mention it in the Haggah, Shulchan Aruch, said specifically that she forgot to light at all. Not lighting all the ones that she normally, she doesn't have to add. That she doesn't have to add according to the She'erit Yehuda. Only, he says to add only if she didn't light at all. That if she lit something, she would be okay according to the She'erit Yehuda. Gam beshut maharam brisk in chelek bet siman mem zayin katav the here katav she'im shachachad lahadlik ner echad mima sheregila. If she lit one less than she normally lit sichad hosif, that she does have to add. Aval המשנה ברורה חולק עליו וכתב שכיוון שכל זה אינו אלא ממנהגה, that all this is only from custom, הבוא דלא להוסיף עלה, not to add, עד כאן. And then he brings here a few other opinions. בשו"ת מלמד להועיל שאף לדעת הפרי מגדים אפילו שכחה נר אחד ממה שהייתה רגילה עליה להוסיף, אבל כבר חלק עליו משמרה, וכך כתב ארוחות חיים בשם מור ואהלות. So there's a few arguments. גם בשו"ת כוכבי יצחק תמה הפרי מגדים שהחמיד בזה. So כוכבי יצחק was surprised that there was a previous opinion that was מחמיר בשום מצה וביהל שכתב עליו להירה שכיוון שכל זה אינו אלא מנהג עבוד לא להוסיף עליו. ובספר ברכת הבית, in שער מ"ה, שערי בינה, כתב ולי נראה שלא כנסו להוסיף נר אחד אלא בשכחה ולא דקה כלל. And that was specifically when she forgot. אבל אם הדליקה בשכחה והפחיתה מהדלקת נרות שהייתה רגילה לא כנסו בזה, עיין שם וכך כתבו בשו"ת מעין חיים חלק ב' ובשו"ת בית ישראל, עיין שם בשו"ת קניין תורה חלק ו' סוף סימן ט'. נשאל באישה ששכחה להדליק נרות בערב שבת אבל היא הדליקה את החשמל ומסמה עשתה את זה לכבוד שבת, אך האם שייך לכונסה, והשיב דלומר דמסתמה הדליקה החשמל לכבוד שבת הוא רק לימוד זהות, דהה בזה רגילה להדליק כל ערב, ואנו רואים דמה שמוטל עליה בהדלקת הנר שכה. מלבד זאת דעת הפרי מגדים, ואפילו אישה שמדליקת הרבה נרות שכחה חסרה נר אחד, גם כן צריכה להוסיף נר אחד, וכן המנהג דלא כביהל שחולק שמקמל בזה. עד כאן. אולם אין דבריו מוכרחים לדינה, יש סיוע לדברי המשנה מדברי הרמה בדרכי משה הנ"ל שאין זו אלא חומרה רחוקה. This is only a specific stringency and a far one. וכן משמע פשט לשון המעריל, באישה שכחה ללא הדליקה נר שבת, תהא זהירה להוסיף, מוכח דברי הביהל, והבו דלא הוסיף עלה. בספר תורת חיים סופר כתב שאף מכל דבריו רבותינו משמע דווקא אם שכחה להדליק נרות לגמרי צריכה להוסיף. מכל מקום יש לנהוג כדעת הפרי מגדים כיוון דנפיק מפומה, עיין שם, אוקיי, וכך כתב בשו"ת יד יצחק חלק ב' סימן כ"ח, אך אין דבריהם מוכחים כלל, בפרט שיש אור החשמל. Especially when you have light at home. וכתב במגן אברהם, דאם נאנסה ולא הדליקה, כגון שהייתה בבית האסורים, או מחמת עוני, if she was poor or she was in prison, or maybe she was in a hospital, אינה צריכה להוסיף, she doesn't have to add, דרק בשכחה או פשעה יש לכונסה, only if she forgot, or she did it on purpose that she didn't want to lie. וכן כתבו, בתוספות שבת, עיין שם, שביער דסלקה דתעתין דהתם משום כפרה. Okay, so he brings a lot of different proofs discussing it. He also brings down the next one, כתב מרן אחידה בשיעורי ברכה, in the שם of the שער אריה, שיותר טוב ממה שתוסיף נר, תיתן שם לענייה כדי שתדליק. So the חידה brings down that better than adding a candle, giving to a poor person oil would be more appropriate and a bigger hesed than having her light either more oil or...
Every week?
I can't tell you for sure because it doesn't say. I don't know. I would assume that it would be on a one-time basis. I would assume it's a one-time basis.
I wonder. Oh, that makes sense. I wonder what somebody said. What he says about somebody who's not religious.
No, so we already learned that if someone is not religious and made teshuvah, that doesn't. We're not talking about that case.
No, but they know about the laws.
No, but still, we're not talking about that case unless she was a posheya.
What's a posheya?
Posheya means she specifically doesn't want to light. She knows it and she's doing it. Not that she's not religious because she's just not observant and it's not convenient to her and she goes out on Friday night and she's not home and she doesn't want to light. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about someone who she hates religion and she's davka, I don't want to do it. I hate lighting candles. That's a problem. And so we're talking about if she was a ba'alat teshuvah, she just came back from the fold. And also it's not talking about men. It's only talking about women. Only women for the extra candle. Okay, וכן הסכימו בספר קמח סולת, בספר זיכרון משה אזולאי, הישן כתב בכף החיים, שמכיוון שאף מהרי"ל לא כתב שצריכה להוסיף נר אחד. He says the Maharil never really said to add a candle. רק שתן שמן יותר בנר, just to add a little bit more oil into the candle. יש להקל לתת שמן לאישה ענייה. It's worth it to be lenient here and to just give some oil to a poor lady. Okay, listen, you know what you do? If that were the case, if someone knows somebody, you get a nice new jug of olive oil and write the Chavod Shabbat Kodesh and find a poor lady, almana, yetoma, that lights. Jewish, of course, lighting for Shabbat, and give them the oil to light for Shabbat. Say, I bought a special oil, the Chavod Shabbat. I want to give it to you as a gift so you can light the Chavod Shabbat. And say, that's it. And you get covered, and you do it in a proper way. B'dat Magen Abraham Anal Tebe'ones Ena Tzricha Lahosif Ner וכן כתבו באר ובתוספת שבת והגרז בארוהש ובחיי אדם ובקיצור שולחן ערוך, and he has even more sources. So I think that looking at this from the conclusion we're getting is really you have both options. He brings at the end here כך אתה פשוט אור לציון חלק ב' שמכיוון שאם יש נר חשמל שדולק יש בזה שלום בית, כל שהדליקה את אור החשמל כדי שיהיה הבית מואר, and לקנוס אותה להוסיף נר אחד. He said definitely if she turned on some lights for Shabbat, definitely does not have to add another candle. אין שם, וכך אתה פשוט מעין חיים. He also brings down ילקוט יוסף שבת כרך א', ואף על פי שבשו"ת שבט הלוי ובשו"ת שרגא המאיר ובשו"ת שיט אליעזר חלק כ"א כתבו להחמיר בזה, אין דבריהם מוכרחים, even though there are opinions that said, and I skipped a little bit, he has another page and a half on this from other sources. So it seems from here as follows: the laws of Shabbat of Rabbi Nachson, he says that she should add another candle. He's going with Hazon Avadja and Halacha Berura. When it comes to the Yalkut Yosef, you have the out. The Shulchan Aruch does not mention it meforash. It's only from the Haggah. So that's your answer. The right thing to do, based on these opinions that we see here, and based on what we have, you really have both options. If she wants to light an additional candle, she could. If she wants to add additional oil, that's okay, or a bigger candle. That's another option, or to give oil to a poor lady, that's another one, or not do any of them at all. It's not in the Shulchan Aruch, and she has the out if she specifically has light in the house, and if she turned on the lights for Shabbat, for sure. But if she has lights in the house and the house was illuminated, she will go into a dark house, then she would be out. If there was no lights at all in the house and she forgot under those other conditions, I think I think that she would have to ask, her local Orthodox rabbi to give her the details of it. Because if there was no lights at all in the house on that night, and there was no Shabbat candles, it could be an issue. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen.